Tracey, you work with my brother. How is your mental health?
Not stable.
Okay, but you work with me. Now, how's your mental health?
Really unstable.
You work with my mom. How's your mental health? That's the no comment.
Love Young.
Tracey is a strong individual to work with. Really, not my mom, but myself and my brother. That takes a lot. But also, I bless you with so many things at the same time. I must say myself, and pat myself on the back. Pat, 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 pat. You're welcome. Congratulations. All right. No.
I got no comments.
Zero comments.
I got
Tracey.
0 comments.
Okay.
Should we start with we're not professionals?
I think we should start with this.
Personal experience.
This is just personal experience. We are not, we're not mental health professionals by any means, but just we're sharing our experience, our opinions only. Want to make that clear. Okay. The nail industry it's not easy. Trace.
No.
Correct?
Correct.
I feel like people initially will look at the nail industry and go, oh my God, this is a great option. It's a great career. We always talk about how great of a career it is. They jump in and they're like, I can't build a clientele. Why am I working so hard but not making money? Like all these things happen and they start losing their marbles, and it's very easy to do so. I can understand. I mean, anytime you're in your own business, dude, anytime you're running your own business, anytime you are, starting your own business, which is a major part of being a nail technician, not everybody, but a lot, it's gonna wear on you. So Trace, can you talk about this for a second? Your own experience. You have done this. You've done it all in the nail industry. But when you started out, mental health, give us your take.
So nail industry is very personal all the way around, right? First of all, you're dealing with people all day long, which can be very draining on yourself. You're listening to a lot of problems, a lot of trying to, people want your opinions, and it's a lot. And then on top of it, it's personal in the fact that you're giving a personal service. It is on someone. You're not selling an article of clothing that they're not happy with. It's the possibility of you did something physical on the person and they're not going to like it.
Right.
And you're thinking that the whole service, right? Especially new client. You're just like, oh my God. You don't even realize it. I think I've talked about this before, how drained you are. I didn't notice it until I'd get in the car at the end of the night. And I could just instantly feel it.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot out of you, especially if you're not like an extrovert or someone, if you're, if it's hard for you anyway. Now, personally, and I've been open and honest about that, I suffer depression issues and I have anxiety issues. And I went into the industry with these issues. So, if you don't pay attention to yourself and give yourself time, in the mental aspect, and do things that are going to help protect you from the anxiety and the mental health problems, then you can crash really easily if you don't.
So I feel like there's things that can drive somebody like crazy and really lead to mental health challenges. And then there's some sort of self-inflicted things that we would do that you can change to help ease these mental health issues. So I always feel like stress is the start of it.
Stress is a major start of it.
Right?
And you can have depression issues like that I have, or maybe you don't, but if we're self-inflicting stress on ourselves, it's still draining and depressing.
Yes.
So everybody gets depressed, but are we causing our own pain?
Right.
Sometimes we are. A lot of times as techs we are.
Yeah. So there could be things like I've been doing this for a year. I'm not building a clientele, and I can speak from experience where, when I came into our business, Tracey, we were suffering, majorly financially. My mom was depressed. My brother was depressed. I was depressed because of the
course.
financial situation we're in, right?
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting. Like, walked into the business and, we worked as a team. We worked great together as a team, thank God. But we started noticing, we were like, shoot, we've been doing these things. We've been making these decisions that are causing us to be in this, like, it's this vicious cycle.
Self-inflicted stress.
It is. But I didn't want to admit it initially. I didn't want to be like,
you just don't know it.
yeah, you just don't know. You're in it. You're in the cycle. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're depressed and you're feeling the pressure, it's hard to step out of it and go, what the hell am I doing? What is actually going on? Part of ours was, we were selling products, or our prices were too low, right?
Right.
So we weren't making money, and it was killing us. Mm-hmm. And the other was not collecting money when people owed us. Like, we were just pushing it off because I didn't want to deal with that, nor did my mom and my brother want to deal with that. So we had to make some, like, real decisions of, like, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna actually, like, step up and start to do these difficult things, like make these hard decisions, to make change. But I could see that as a nail tech too.
So there's two things you just discussed that are same for a nail tech: self-inflicted stress. One, not pricing right. So you have a clientele and you're in this full spin circle, but yet you're struggling still. That can cause self-inflicted stress, which causes anxiety, causes you not to enjoy your job anymore.
Totally.
Two, you didn't want to collect your money. You had not set your policies.
Right.
Self-inflicted.
Right.
As a tech, we can do the same. We haven't set our no-show. We haven't set our late. We haven't made our policies clear. Therefore, it causes us stress every time we have to deal with it, where we could take action to prevent that stress by making policies known.
I also think, so let me start. There's so many things, like, on my mind that I want to talk about here, but actually taking the action and doing it. Like, right now, if you're in a position where you're stressed out and you're like, it would be nice to make more money. Like, what if you just increased it by $5 or $10 per service? You know what I mean? And you just go through the motions and you do it. We've seen this over and over again, where people are like, oh my gosh, thank you. This helped so much. It helped considerably.
And what I imagine some might be saying or thinking, you guys always talk about money. Money doesn't fix all problems. You're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Right.
But this can be a self-inflicted problem if you're not charging enough. I'm not saying, oh, I'm charging enough and I'm not happy, so I must need more money. No, you're right. Money does not fix everything. Right. But when it's self-inflicted in the fact that you're not charging enough and then you're in that vicious circle, yes.
Yeah. And then policy as well. Like, it's hard, and that's like the money collections thing, that I was dealing with. I've talked about this so many times.
Just ignore it. It'll go away.
It'll go away. You're like, they'll pay. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to take care of it, and you just step away from it. But, like, if you have a policy of no kids, but your clients keep bringing in kids, and it's like chaotic and it's stressing you out, or show up on time and they're constantly late, and you're not communicating these things. You have to be able to communicate your policies effectively to your clients. Again, the whole name of the game that we're talking about here is, let's put an actual structure and rules and regs in your business to lessen the stress.
Yeah, the possibility of putting ourselves in a depressive mode or something like that.
Correct.
And another thing that I was going to say is, we also have to determine what kind of tech that we are and be okay with it. And what I mean by that, if you're the kind of tech that needs breaks in the day, take the breaks.
Yes.
Take the breaks. Now, I was not that tech. Taking a break puts me in a depressive state. I don't do well. I like to go. It's just how I function. I function better at it. And then I get my full days off. That's how I enjoyed myself.
Right.
I should not feel guilty for that. Nor should you feel guilty for not being that way.
Right.
You got to decide, do you need the break? Do you need to take a moment? Do you need the full lunch? If you need that, do not feel guilty about taking it. Another thing, vacation. Take them. You need them. You need that break. You need that time with your family or away from your family, whatever it it is. I've been there. And not feeling guilty about it. You have to take care. I'm the type of person that you put me to a wall, right? Let's talk holiday season for me,
Right.
as a nail tech. It was just go. I would get sick. I would work through it. I function well in these kind of stressful situations of just, now after is when I always hit a wall. Even here, Black Friday, just go, function. I function that way. I'm doing fine. After everything calms down, I feel it. I have to take some time for myself at that point to prevent to going into a full depressive state.
Yeah.
So you have to know yourself.
Dude, that is so important. Now, I'm like, you and I are very similar, Tracy, right? Like, I wish I had that advice, in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because I also like to work and I like to do things, and that's how I enjoy myself. Everybody used to tell me, dude, there's something wrong with you. You're a workaholic. Dude, take a break. Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
You're not happy. You can't be happy.
You can't be happy. And I honestly was like, Jesus, what is wrong with me? And I thought there was something wrong with me for so long. Obviously, I've come to just accept, like, this is what makes me happy. Now, there is the flip side, right? Where somebody is the opposite, where they're like, no, I don't want to do that, dude. I want to work.
Pace myself.
I want to pace myself.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm happy. You got to know yourself. One thing I will say about that is you have to know, like, that can be taken. Don't take that to the extreme of, like, I know myself. I like one client a week. Yeah. And I
don't want to stay in bed till 3. Come into a client. You might not have a great business at that point.
You will have zero business at that point. Correct. So part of what I would say is, even looking at, okay, how much money do I want to make a year realistically? Mm-hmm. Breaking that down, like, okay, this is how much I need to charge. This is how many people I need to see a week. That's my goal. And then how do I want to stack it? Do I want to go Tracy's method of, like, I want to do it all in 3 days in a row, 16 hours a day? Or do I want to spread it out amongst 5-6 days and have multiple breaks in between? Now it's your choice.
And it is your choice. That's what's amazing about this business. And you have to, again, you've set your policies, you've set your pricing right, and you are in control of your own business. You're not letting your clientele make you feel guilty for your choice and how you want to work.
Right. In the end, like, you have to find, you might be passionate about nails, but you also have to find that right combination for you, what works for you, that's going to bring, peace and happiness and actually joy.
Yeah.
Some joy. Like, I have my own style. Tracy has her own style. Jorge has his own style, whatever that is. You have to find yours, but I really do think being honest with yourself about how you work. Again, though, you have to know, like, you can't be like, I'm going to just do a client a day. Like, seriously, you can't do that.
You got to survive. If you want this to be a business, you have to work.
You have to be
responsible.
You got to be responsible to your business. You got to show up. You got to work. Now, how you divvy that up is up to you, and do it to your style and your way, but don't take it to the extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can go extreme both ways.
You can go extreme both ways. In the end, though, like, I think the combination of those things, setting the right policies, setting the right pricing, and then setting the right schedule so that you have peace of mind. And then here's the last thing I wanted to talk about, Tracy, is what about for the person that does not have a clientele yet, that is, like, losing their mind? We see this all the time. Like, they're really going crazy because it's like, dude, I've been doing this. I'm not building a clientele. What am I doing wrong? They're frustrated. What advice do you have for them?
It is very stressful when you're first starting out. So first of all, you got to realize you have to be patient. Second, I always say you have to give yourself permission to fail, because you are going to fail, and you can feel like you're failing when you're not building a clientele. It will come. It will come. The third thing, we've all been there. So you're not alone. And there's comfort in that. I feel that there's comfort in that. Knowing, because sometimes, unfortunately, some people in whatever industry, but nail techs, well, I built a clientele in 2 months when I first came out of school, and I was making $100,000. That would be very rare.
Very rare.
If you're watching Greg, if you're watching your favorite nail tech on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, and you're like, that's who I want to be, they were you.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yes. To add to what Tracey is saying too, you have to be able to objectively look at what you're doing. Okay, so let me give you an example. There's a lot of people that will say to me, Habib, I'm posting every day. I'm doing the things that you told me, and then I'll go look on their Instagram account and they're not posting every day. They're not doing the things. Like we talk about all the ways to build a clientele. Like if you are day in and day out wearing your work, if you are making content on the regular and putting it up, all the while you don't have clientele, you have a lot of time to market and to network. I think that is huge. You have to be very honest with yourself and look at your action of what you're doing, and then make up the difference where, okay, I'm not doing enough, I need to do more, possibly. That's one thing. The other thing too is we have such great communities, like our Twitch community, our Discord community. These are phenomenal communities that being a part of, and like, hey, I'm struggling, does anybody have any advice for me? And I think people will help and share, especially you go into our Discord and Twitch, being a part of the community, just knowing that there's other people, hey, I was there, not just Tracey and I saying it, but like other nail techs now that are going through something or have been and have advice for you, I think could really, really help. Yeah.
And I would say the last thing, again, we're not professionals in any form.
Correct.
But if you're like me, who, has these problems, I needed outside help for these problems.
Completely.
And sometimes you have to look to a doctor or therapy, get the help that you need. Because, a lot of people, and for me, when I realized that I had these issues, I was embarrassed and I felt like I was the only one. And there's so many people out there going through the same thing. So there is so many resources out there for people.
I've myself, my own experience, just sharing this, I've been in therapy for over 20 years. Wow. I think it's been like 25 years I've been in therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about that for a second. I needed outside help. I'm not saying you do, but I needed it. On top of that, I've struggled with addiction. I needed help for that too. And I sought it. Like I couldn't do it myself. And same thing with Tracey in the beginning. I was very, very, very embarrassed about it. Now I help people, in my spare time, I help other people with those issues and problems because it's a real struggle. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
it's a common struggle.
It's a common struggle, and it did work for me as well. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on this topic. We would love to hear it. Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. See you next time on the Biz Talk.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel.